Colombian armed forces have captured drug kingpin Dairo Antonio Usuga, also known as Otoniel. President Ivan Duque on Saturday called it the biggest blow to drug trafficking since the death of Pablo Escobar. Otoniel is the leader of the drug trafficking group Clan del Golfo, with around 1,200 armed men. A majority of them are former members of far-right paramilitary groups operating throughout several provinces in Colombia. Otoniel is accused of sending dozens of shipments of cocaine to the United States. He is also accused of killing police officers, recruiting minors, and sexually abusing children, among other crimes.
Al narcotráfico.
Colombia had offered a reward of up to about $800,000 for information on his whereabouts. The U.S. government, meanwhile, offered a reward of up to $5 million. The Colombian government said Otoniel was captured during an operation that involved more than 500 members of the country's special forces. It added that one police officer died in the process.
Several people have been killed and others wounded in an explosion in eastern Afghanistan's Jalalabad region. Government officials tell us an IED planted on the side of a road exploded earlier in the day in Jalalabad. No one has claimed responsibility for the attack yet. The number of people killed in the blast is still unknown. However, sources tell us that there were casualties in the incident. Sources also tell us that there were 4 security incidents today in the eastern Afghan city. Note that there is a security operation underway in Jalalabad by the Taliban forces against the Islamic State. Remember, last week the Afghan Special Security Forces captured the ISIS-K's self-appointed governor to Nangarhar province from Jalalabad city, the provincial capital.
Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has moved to expel the ambassadors from 10 Western nations, including Germany and the United States. An escalating diplomatic rout centers around philanthropist Osman Kavala. He's been in jail for 4 years on charges relating to a failed coup in 2016. Erdogan unleashed a sweeping crackdown after surviving the attempt. The diplomats have called for Kavala's release, and Erdogan has condemned their demands as indecent.
Now, a new caravan of undocumented migrants is heading towards Mexico City in an attempt to seek permits for Central and South American migrants to move freely in Mexico, shouting slogans of freedom. Haitians and Central Americans, which included children, as well pushed past an immigration checkpoint in the Viva Mexico community of Tapachula on the border with Guatemala. Riot police in some places also blocked the caravan consisting of around 3,000 migrants.
Buildings shook in Taipei on Sunday as a 6.5 magnitude earthquake struck northeastern Taiwan. There were no reports of damage. The quake had a depth of 41.5 miles and could be felt across the northern, eastern and western parts of Taiwan, with the epicentre in Yilan County, according to the Weather Bureau. The Taipei Metro was briefly closed for checks, but reopened shortly afterwards. The state-run power operator said the grid was operating as normal, while the Railway Administration said it was carrying out track inspections.
When businessmen Stefano Marani and Nick Mitchell bought this grassy plain in Free State, South Africa for $1, they had no idea it was hiding a secret treasure. Their plan was to mine it for natural gas, but the sample they extracted came with a very pleasant surprise.
We took it up to Joburg, and that was when we discovered there were varying concentrations of between 2 and 4% of helium in our gas, and that was when we knew we had something special.
Helium is used as a cooling agent in rocket engines, medical equipment like MRI scanners and in electronic chip manufacturing. Demand often outstrips supply. And not only has Renogen found helium, it's also found it in record concentrations.
The United States produces at around 0.35%. Our average is 3.4%. So already we're 10 times higher than the United States, and that's our average.
We can confirm that the number of the death toll has risen to 7, and we had 5 people that were admitted for being treated with gunshot wounds. One of them has since been released from hospital. What happened is that there was a lone gunman who went into a house in Kagiso in Tepisong, and he went into the house and killed allegedly the owner as well as the girlfriend and a neighbor. And as he was moving out of the house, he started shooting randomly, and that resulted in 2 more people being certified dead on the scene, and 2 died in hospital.
Let's begin by aviation world news and the bankrupt Italian flagship airline Alitalia. It has made its final flight and folded its business after running for 74 years. Aviation enthusiasts have called it the end of an era in airline industry. Alitalia has been in the red for more than a decade and will be replaced by a new national carrier, ITA, or Italy Air Transport, which launches today. European Commission has given go-ahead to a $1.58 billion injection of government funding into new airline, but ITA is only planning to hire around a quarter of estimated 10,000 Alitalia employees.